Hello, 8th grade. Today we're going to be talking about measures of central tendency, or measuring central tendency, which is a really big fancy way of saying we're going to be given a whole bunch of numbers and we're going to try to figure out what the middle of that set of numbers is. And we've got a few different ways of trying to do that. And those three ways are written right here as the mean, the median, and the mode, and all these are ways to measure central tendency. So the mean is another name for average. So if we're finding the mean, we're just going to find the average. And we'll go over how to do that again if you forgot. That's okay. What the median is it is literally just finding the middle number. So this is the middle number. And we'll find that a little bit later too if you forgot. And mode is the number that occurs the most often. So it's the most common number. Most common. And that's what the three ways that we measure central tendency are. So I went ahead and made a list of a bunch of numbers that we're going to work with and find the mean, median, and mode with today. And those are the ones listed right here. It's a whole bunch of numbers, and the first one we're going to try to find is going to be the mean. So we're going to find our mean. And to find our mean, what we're going to do is the first step, we are going to add all the numbers. And our second step is we're going to divide by how many numbers we have. So we'll start by adding all of these up. We have 35, 36, 33, 38, 36, 34, 35, 35, and 33. That is a lot of numbers. I'll be honest, I cheated with this one, pulled out my magic box, and ended up getting that this is 315 right there. So that's 315. That's what we get when we add all the numbers. So I added all the numbers, got 315. So the next thing I have to do is divide by how many numbers? How many numbers do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've got 9 numbers there. So we're going to divide by 9. 315 divided by 9. And what that is going to give me is 35. And that means we have a mean of 35. So the next one, if we go to the mode, number 2 is going to be mode. The mode is just the number we see the most often. If we go back up here, the mode means the most common. So looking at this, I see a couple 36s. I got 2 of those, but I've got 3 35s. And I think that's the most common one we have is those 35s. So our mode is going to be 35 right there, because that's the one we have the most of. So our mode is 35. If you have a couple numbers, like if we had an extra 36, we had 3 36s and 3 35, they would both be modes. You're allowed to have multiple of these, so you can have more than one. But in this case, we only have one, and that is 35. So the last one we're going to work on is going to be the median. So 3 for the median is going to be our middle number. So I'm going to write these numbers down again below so I can work with them. And those numbers are 35, 36, 33, 38, 36, 34, 35, 35, and 33. Awesome. So what we want to do with the median is our first thing is going to be to reorder numbers smallest to biggest. And after that, we're going to find the middle number. Very cool. So I'm going to reorder these smallest to biggest. The smallest number I have is a 33. Write down 33. That'll get rid of that one. Got another 33. Get rid of that one right there. Got a 34. I have 3 35s, which gets rid of all of those. I've got two 36s there and there. Then I have a 38. And that should be all 9 of my numbers. And we're good to go. So that was our first step. Now what we have to do is we have to find the middle number. And the way we do that, we just cross out numbers from the outside until we get to the middle. And our middle number is going to be the 35 right there. So our median is 35. And if we look, there's a bit of a pattern here. Our mean, median, and mode are all 35, which normally they'll be close. A lot of the times they won't be exactly the same, but we want them to all be very, very close. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to add on an extra number to this set. So we are going to pretend now that this set of numbers we have is 33, 33, 34, 35, 35, 36, 36, and 115. So this is now our data set. And we're going to start by finding the median. So if I start by trying to find the median, it's already all nicely in a row. I can cross these out until I get to the center. I should have an extra 35 in there. That's okay. Let's see, 33, 33, 34, 35, 35. Need an extra 35, and the 38 went missing as well. So I'm going to put my 38 right here, 15, and put a 35 in right there. What's going to end up happening is that we still end up getting 35 right there as our median. So our median is still 35 even after I added the 115. So next I'm going to try to find is mode. If I'm looking at mode, the one I have the most common of is still 35. I have 3 of those. Adding a 115 didn't change that. And the last one I have is mean. So for the mean, we have to start by adding all these up. And if I add all these up, I'll cheat again, put it into my magic box. I end up getting 430 divided by the number of numbers there are 10, is going to give me 43. So I added a crazy number in here of 115. And all of a sudden, my median does not change. It does not care that I added a crazy number. My mode does not change. It does not care that I added a crazy number. My mean does change, and by quite a bit. So outliers is what we call these crazy numbers that are nowhere close, and they affect the mean. So we're going to write that down. An outlier is a number that doesn't fit and if there's a number that doesn't fit, it will affect the mean. But not the median or the mode. Very cool. So that's most of what we had today. Other than that, there would just be a lot of different ways that we can plug in these numbers. What we want to make sure we remember is that if we look at something and there's a number that doesn't quite fit, that would be an outlier, and that can affect the mean, but our median and mode should still be pretty safe, should stay around where they need to be. So again, right here, the outlier did not change the median or the mode, but it did change the mean quite a bit. So if we're looking for outliers, we want to make sure we can tell if there's an outlier if our mean is very far off. That means there's probably an outlier we're looking for. Other than that, I will see you guys in class. Please make sure that you do the lesson practice along with the notes and bring that in. See y'all in class.